Hello everybody, my name is Leo, and with this video we share a direct comparison between the UAFX Dream 65 versus the Strymon Iridium versus a real Fender Deluxe Reverb. First of all, we will hear the units in action with a demo song, actually a double demo song with a more pop rock one and another one with jazz nuances. Then we will compare the technical characteristics of the two units with a very detailed comparison chart. Then we will hear more sounds in the dedicated section of this video, comparing the two units versus a real Fender Deluxe Reverb, checking out the tone, the feel, and how the units take overdrive pedals, and how they sound in a jazz context, actually using my Gibson ES-175. Then we will also check out the latency introduced by the two units with pretty interesting results. So I think that we are gonna share a very detailed picture of the pros and cons of these pedals that we will finally summarize in the My 2 cents section of this video. I hope you enjoy, and please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, as it's gonna really help me to make more videos like this. Let's start! now check out the differences between the two units among the following parameters: number of amps and cabs, third-party IRs support, number of presets, number of effects and effects types, MIDI availability, audio input and outputs, foot switches and expression pedal, ADA conversion and USB capabilities, computer app available with the two units, current power dimension, weight and price. First of all, we have 3 amps and 27 IRs in the Iridium, provided by Celestion, Own Hammer and Walhalla IR, with max 9 at a time that can be loaded in the Iridium. In the Dream 65 we have 1 amp, but with 3 mods: the normal deluxe reverb, the lead amp, which provides you with a kind of 80s tone, and a Stevie Ray Vaughan modification. Furthermore, it offers 3 cabs, with 3 more that you can download with the app once you have registered your product. Only the Iridium offers the possibility to load third-party IRs in 9 user slots, where the Dream 65 is, a more closed platform without the possibility to load external IRs. The Iridium offers 300 presets and the Dream 65 only 1. With the app of the Dream 65 you can download presets from a collection of artists' presets, but you have just one at a time at your disposal in the unit. The Iridium offers one effect that is a reverb with 3 types of rooms: a small, a medium and a large room, where the Dream 65 offers 3 effects that are a booster, a spring reverb and a vibrato. As regards MIDI, the Iridium has a TRS MIDI in, where the Dream 65 has no MIDI availability, which is a kind of a bummer. In fact, it's hard to integrate the Dream 65 in a modern pedalboard, as you cannot switch effects or the booster or the amp mods with a switching system like the Boss ES8 or a MIDI device, where the Iridium is much more, modern pedalboard friendly. As regards I/O, in the Iridium we have a guitar in that can be a stereo in, we have unbalanced stereo out and an headphone out, and we don't have effects loop. The Dream 65 has stereo input and outputs with unbalanced jacks. Furthermore, the Dream 65 has no headphone out. Both the Dream 65 and the Iridium have 2 foot switches. Furthermore, the Iridium has an expression pedal input, where the Dream 65 does not provide any expression pedal input. One nice feature of the Dream 65 is that with the Bluetooth app you can customize the behavior of the 2 foot switches pretty easily. As regards ADA conversion and USB ports, the Iridium has 24 bits at 96 kHz converters, but cannot serve as an audio interface, just like the Dream 65, which converter tech specs are not known. If you know, please drop a message in the comment section below. The Iridium has a computer app in order to upload and manage IRs, where the Dream 65 has a Bluetooth app with which you can, for instance, decide the functions to assign to each foot switch, or you can download artist presets. As regards the power needs, the Iridium is a little bit more power hungry at 500 mA versus 400. Both the units require 9 volts. As regards the dimensions and weight, they are similar. I would say that the Dream 65 is a little bit heavier, at 567 grams versus 429. And lastly, the price is basically the same for both the unit, at 399 bucks. So let's summarize. In my opinion, the main differences, or the differences that I would highlight, are the possibility to control the Iridium via MIDI, that allows for the best integration of the pedal in a modern pedalboard, for instance using a switching system or a MIDI device, which is a pretty important factor for me, because for instance you can change the configuration of your pedalboard without tap dancing between effects, but you can change the configuration with just one click. Then I would mention obviously the different amps modeled and the possibility to load custom IRs in the Iridium, where the Dream 65 is, a more closed platform. On the other hand, the Dream 65 does not offer only a reverb like the Iridium, but also a vibrato and a booster. Please let me know if there is something wrong in this chart or there are other differences that I didn't mention and that are important for you, so that we can enrich this comparison and help other guitarists who are unsure which unit to buy. All in all, I think that the Iridium offers some more features compared to the Dream 65. So let's now hear some more sounds to verify together if the tone and feel of the Dream 65 is, how to say, balancing the less features offered compared to the Iridium. Let's talk about latency. First of all, what is latency? Well, any digital device has to convert the signal from analog to digital, then it has to do some calculations to create the target tone, and then it has to convert the signal again from digital to analog. These calculations and conversions take time. That time is called latency. So latency is basically the time that it takes for the guitar signal to be heard after you actually play the note. Some of us are very sensitive to latency that can impact what is typically referred as feel. I mean, how you feel that a specific pedal reacts to your touch. Now, I'm not very sensitive to latency as I have played a lot of MIDI guitar in the past, so I've got used to manage the latency of a device. But as I said, the latency is super important for some of us. Now, this chart represents the measures I have taken in order to find out the latency of these two devices. We have the test impulse response at the top. I have sent this impulse to the two units. The two units have the basic settings with just the deluxe reverb model, and as regards the speaker simulations, I have tested 3 different caps. The resulting recorded wave signal is represented by the blue waves for the Dream 65 and by the green ones for the Iridium. As you may notice, both devices introduce a pretty small amount of latency. The Dream 65 introduces around 2 milliseconds and 1/3 of a millisecond of delay for all the 3 IRs, where the Iridium is actually quicker, introducing just around 1 millisecond for the slower IR and around half of a millisecond for the quicker one. Therefore, we can say that, first of all, both the units are very quick. The Iridium is quicker than the Dream 65. The Dream 65 provides consistent results among all the IRs, even because I think that it uses proprietary algorithms, where in the Iridium there are slight variations in the latency according to the IR you're gonna use, even because the Iridium actually uses third-party IRs. Nevertheless, let me just say that these latency values are very small, and I don't think you are gonna hear or feel any differences between the two units. Nevertheless, the Iridium, according to our result, is a little bit quicker compared to the Dream 65, and so it introduces less latency. Final considerations here, and please notice that these are gonna be my personal opinions and you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. Furthermore, this video is not sponsored and I've purchased both the pedal with my own money. So here you're gonna have my brutally honest opinions. Now, in terms of amp tone, at the same setting of the real amp, my opinion is that the Iridium is a bit more rich in the lows and mids, where the Dream 65 has less pronounced bass frequencies that help to have more clear highs, where the rear deluxe reverb sits nicely in the middle. As regards the gain, I would confirm that the Dream 65 has a higher tendency to become saturated, as demonstrated also in my demo review of the Dream 65. I mean, it distorts a little bit earlier compared to the real deal and the Iridium. This was pretty evident, in my opinion, in the clips where I have compared the pedals in the jazz tune. Both the Iridium and the Dream 65 take distortion pedals very well, even if the Dream 65 has a bit of an advantage going into distortion a little bit earlier, and therefore accompanying distortion pedals nicely. Furthermore, the Iridium tends to become even more, how to say, closed when you use an overdrive pedal in front of it, as I hope I was able to demonstrate in the more sound section of this video. I think that the Dream 65, actually having less lows and being more focused on high frequencies, maintain a lot of clarity even with overdrive pedals. If I had to summarize the behavior of these two pedals, I would say that for a clean tone, especially jazz oriented, I would go with the Iridium, also because the pedal is less prone to distortion. Where for a more pop or rock tone, I would go with the Dream 65, that accept more naturally, I would say, distortion pedals. Obviously, this is particularly true if you use the Iridium only with the deluxe reverb simulation, And as you know, you can also switch to the Vox or Marshall simulation if you want more rock or pop tone oriented. As regards the feel, well, this is a pretty personal opinion. I think that the feel is a mixture of latency and how the pedal reacts to your touch. I mean, how it cleans up and breaks up according to how strong or soft you touch the strings. I didn't notice drastic differences between the two pedals, honestly. The Iridium has better latency numbers, but the difference with the Dream 65 is so small that I think it's really hard to be noticed. Furthermore, as you may have noticed in the more sound section of this video, where I played the clips with palm muting, both pedals cleans up and breaks up nicely according to your touch, even if the Dream 65 breaks up a little bit earlier. As regards features, in my opinion the Iridium is superior, especially offering more presets and the possibility to better integrate the Iridium in a modern pedalboard, be controllable via MIDI. Another thing I would mention is that I found the Dream 65 easier to be used. The Iridium provides more options, for instance with 300 presets, but it is a kind of a pain to program the pedal, and you have some hidden functions that you have to access in some specific ways that I always forgot, and I have to check out the user manual. In conclusion, I would say that in terms of how they feel and respond to your touch, they are on par. If you need a very clean or jazzy tone, get the Iridium. If you like a more oriented pop rock bluesy pedal based on the Fender Deluxe, you may prefer the Dream 65. Obviously, you can go in more rock pop territories even with the Iridium, but then I would suggest you to use the Vox or Marshall simulations of the Iridium. And if you need to integrate the pedal in a modern ampless pedalboard, for instance with a switcher like the Boss ES8, take the Iridium. With the Dream 65 you are gonna be obliged to tap dance among foot switches, as the Dream 65 has no MIDI and no possibility to control the unit via external controllers, which is actually a pretty strong limitation and an hard to understand choice from Universal Audio. All in all, I have to say that for me, the missing possibility to integrate the Dream 65 in a modern pedalboard is really limiting. And even if I really like the 3 amp mods of the Dream 65, I simply cannot use this pedal in live situations, as I can't accept to be obliged to start tap dancing among pedals if I want to switch, for instance, from a comping tone to a lead one, for instance at the same time switching off a chorus, changing the amp mode, switching on the booster of the Dream 65 and switching on an overdrive pedal at the same time. One last word about the modeling technology of the Dream 65. Is it a game changer? Well, in my opinion, it is not. In terms of latency, tone and feel, this pedal is really good, but it is not superior, for instance, to the Iridium. And actually, in terms of latency, it is even worse, even if the difference is so thin that I don't think you're gonna notice it. But now it's your turn. What is your opinion? Which unit better suits your needs? Which unit would you buy? Please let me know your precious and valuable opinions in the comment section below. We have now reached the end of this video, hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell and leave a thumb up, it would be of a great help. And of course you won't miss my future videos. If you're interested in my IRs, you can check out the link in the card above or description below, where there is also a link to a playlist of songs of mine and to my 2 new Leo Gibson Band songs. Thank you for watching and see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.